Hi everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. Welcome back to yet another Vlogtober. Can't believe I've kept up with it so far, so good. It's yet to be seen how the wedding weekend goes, but I will do my best to meet this challenge. I wanted to share with you today a cute little traveler's notebook that I bought from Diane at Shaw Craft One. She has an Etsy store. I found her on YouTube though and had sent her a small little gift some time ago, and she sent me a huge package of junk journaling ephemera when I was first starting out on my YouTube/junk journal journey. So that was really sweet of her. She's got a great channel and tons of ideas if you're interested in more junk journaling ideas. So anyway, I bought this from her shop. I thought it was super cute. It's pretty much of a vintage flavor to this standard/narrow sized traveler's notebook. This could certainly work as an insert in a leather notebook that you might already have. I have just used it like this to be a handy little resource in my kitchen. I keep it right above the counter in a cabinet that is easily accessible, and so when I'm doing my basic instant pot recipes or want to mix up a Trim Healthy Mama sugar blend, that's another whole thing, the recipes are there. So that's what I decided to use this for, just things I used often, but for the life of me I cannot commit the measurements to memory. So what has happened, however, since I went about this with no rhyme or reason, I often can't find what I'm looking for, and I write it down, and then I realize later, oh, there it is. I've written down the recipe for this sugar or sweetener blend, I should say, like 2 or 3 different times, just on a different page. So to make my life a little easier when I'm grabbing this, I decided to make these tabs. I don't often use tabs other than for decoration, and usually that's at like the top of my journaling Bibles, but I decided that in this case it would be a super handy resource for me. So before I started this video, I just made some pretty makeshift tabs. I have this cutter, however, that I bought a while ago, Joann's probably, and it really is nice. It cuts out this basic shape. If you line it up in your cutter with just a little bit of room, you can have like the two-sided. So what I mean by that is it'll punch out like this, but then you can unfold it if you're careful to leave a little room at the top when you cut it out. I didn't need that kind of setup today. I have these stickers that I got somewhere. I don't remember, but it's like an adhesive tab sticker, and these fit really well in there. So this is, I just put Insta rice, so basically by that, I don't know why I'm starting like this, but for my Instant Pot, the rice recipe. Let's just see if we can find that, and then we'll take a little stroll through here, or here we go. I have a lot of random things in here, and I like the junk journal-y look, but I just really needed to think it through. So I could have mounted recipes on a card and adhered them to this. I could use the pockets more. I have shared with you, sometimes I just do without thinking, and that's not always a good thing. I am debating on if I want I think side tabs is going to be a better setup. So basically just sticking that on there. I put my little cardboard piece or paper piece, and I'm going to fold that over, hopefully get it to line up, and there. I have a quick and easy tab. I like this already. So I kind of wondered, what am I going to do about the fact that I have written the same recipe a couple different times? I guess I decided I'm not going to worry about that, and I'm just going to tab at least one place where I can find the thing that I want, and if it's duplicated in there, that's not a problem. But then later on, say this is a written down recipe, I already have that somewhere else, I can just glue it down, stick it on there, and reuse the space where I have been kind of redundant. In the very back here, I have copied down a YouTube channel, her directions on how to cook beans, and I haven't made a tab for that, so I might make that one stick out the top. But I want to show you this because it's really kind of funny. So first of all, this book started out to be what I was going to call a commonplace book, and I may do a video on that later. Random facts that I thought were interesting, and then because of the way I had it set up, it was just kind of dumb. So I don't know if I added, I think this fabric was on there, but I colored it out more or less because I decided I wanted this to be a book that's more on the Trim Healthy Mama recipes or healthy eating or kind of Instant Pot resource. I had written down a couple of YouTubers that I was watching when I was doing a little more with the Trim Healthy Mama. Here I have a sugar-free cocoa. I'm going to take that one out, and I will add that back later. Okay, I have sauerkraut here. I wrote it here, and I wrote it on the back, and I wrote it on another page. I have a super sweet sweetener blend here, which is the only time I have that. But then later on, you'll find that there's sauerkraut again, sauerkraut here. So it's just, I just couldn't ever find them, and I ended up rewriting them, or I forgot that I wrote it. Here's a skinny chocolate recipe. All this I will kind of re-coordinate. So sauerkraut, I also wrote it on the card. I have two recipes. One from Prairie Homestead, I think it's called. Jill Winger's, Prairie Homestead. And then Lisa Bass at Farmhouse on Boone, hers is there. And this card still doesn't fit, but I have a little bit more room here where I can cut this recipe card down. So I can just insert it in here. Gosh, still not fitting. Okay, but we still have room. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. I can just insert this card in here and keep all my sauerkraut recipes there, which end up only being 2 sauerkraut recipes written down numerous times. They're both good, they're both super easy, and they're both very similar. You make a brine, you put your shredded cabbage in it, you let it sit, and it develops a good healthy probiotic quality when you do that. And you can eat it with every meal if you want. I haven't done that in several weeks, perhaps even months. I kind of get out of the, what's the word I want? Kind of out of something. Like you're doing it and then you kind of get out of the habit, but there's a phrase I'm looking for. It's not coming to me now. Anyway, so I wrote it here. That's Lisa's recipe. I also tell myself Lisa's is on the back. So that's all going to be in one place. I have lots of cookbooks and stuff, but these are just the little kind of things I use often or I want to find quickly, and it just helps me keep track of some very basic things. For a while I was making the sauerkraut on a regular basis, and I probably will pick that up again. I like eating it, and I know it's good for me. So now we have all 3 of those in the same place, so I don't need to worry about being repetitive there, and I'll just kind of try to line this up so it's not blocking that one, but since I have others, coming, it probably is going to end up that some of them are going to be in front of others. And I'll just go up a little bit. So the thing about this, you know, it could have been in alphabetical order or something too, but I just kind of threw things in as I came across them and wanted to keep track of them. Okay, so let's see. Another funny thing is I have the pizza crust, sourdough pizza crust in here twice. So I'm going to take this one out and discard that. Here's another fermented recipe. I think I kind of like, this is not a tab or a pocket. It looks like it, and I was thinking I would put it in as a pocket. But let's back up a little bit. Let's put this is a recipe I just took a screenshot of and printed. Again, a little bit too big for the pockets, so we'll cut this down. And I could rewrite it in this little recipe book, but to me this works well. I can grab it and put it on one of those little recipe clips if I want to. And it makes sense to me that that's going to be in the same pocket where I have this brine. So this is Prairie Homestead, Jill Winger's website and YouTube channel and so forth. And hers is super easy to follow. This one is also easy. This is from Wardy at, I can't think of her website, Gnelflins or something like that, which stands for something. Anyway, I like having these handy. I like to do the fermented carrots as well. It makes them a little bit softer. Some of my teeth are kind of sensitive to certain things, so I like that. We just add water with the salt and the carrots, and they sit for a while, and there we go. So that's going to be there. And I'll also have that behind it. But I still have this super sweet recipe that's different than the gentle sweet. If you're interested in all that, that's by Trim Healthy Mama, and you can Google that. Basically, they are sugars or sweeteners that don't raise the blood sugar level. Low glycemic index, I think they call that, and it makes your food sweet that you want sweet without messing with your blood sugar. So here I am just saying sweetener, but then I'm clarifying that it's the super sweet one. I'm going to put that more at the top because that's where I have that recipe written. These are super neat tabs. I wish I could remember where I got it. I like that. These clear things. But then I also have the fermenting. So I made some extra little gray tabs here. So let's do one that says carrots and brine. Because basically it's a recipe for, well, the brine is kind of what you could do for several recipes, but this specifically, I also have the carrot one in there. So that should be enough information that I can know what I'm talking about. If I'm looking how to ferment the carrots or make the brine for the carrots, I have the two similar recipes that work together. Whoops, that one I kind of botched up, didn't I? Yay, it's coming up. Not so great, but I think it'll go back down. Okay, need to press from this end and work towards that way. That one I think I messed up. It may pop open yet. I might have to redo that one, but for now, we'll just move on. Okay, so already you can see I can just glance at this and get a quick recipe help that I need. I don't need the super sweet one tab anymore. Let's see. Yep, I totally did not do a good job on this one. It's coming up on this side. I think it maybe doesn't like sticking to this paper. This is almost plasticky. Kind of has a coating on it. Could be an old wallpaper. Kind of looks like that. Okay, the pizza crust, it's seeming to work well there. I'm not real fond of that bright pink paper clip. Let's see if we want to stick that. It's a granola recipe. See, I've got stuff everywhere. This could go here. Overthinking as usual. I have the book with that information in it, so I'm going to just pitch that. I don't make that tea anymore anyway. Here's the yogurt recipe. I have a couple sourdough English muffins. One is from a farmhouse on Boone, and the other one is from somebody I found on YouTube. So here, this is funny. So here's the gentle sweetener again. So I have that. I wrote 2 because that's the second time. So let's just make a tab. I'll just use these things until they're out, and then we'll just glue them on. These have been sitting in my stash forever, and I keep forgetting to use them, and now I finally have a reason. So, again, now let's close it and see. I think I kind of right in the middle here. It's a good spot. I have my handy little trash bag right next to me. Okay, let's push that on. And there. Super fun, super easy. So my writing, I haven't taken the time to be real tidy. This one did not do well, sadly. These little ribbony or stringy things are decorative, and they're supposed to add to the little bit of vintage flair and the personality, but I'm going to trim them a little bit now because I find that it's kind of looks a little bit sloppy to me, more than I want with these tabs and stuff. All that stuff hanging out, it's getting on my nerves a little. It's a nice effect though, but with the tabs there, I just think it's looking a little too cluttered. So that's that. I have several more here that I can do, but I think I will just go ahead and add those on my own and not keep you much longer. I keep telling you I'm trying to add some videos to this Vlogtober lineup that aren't so lengthy, and I'm going to stop with this now so this one can fit that qualification, and it probably is already a little bit rambly. But this is going to be super helpful. I know what I have written in here generally. I know that it's in this book. So now I think having the tabs, I'll be able to find it. So, I mean, that's super big and bold, be hard to miss. And that way, hopefully, I won't keep rewriting the same things in it that I use over and over again. So there you go. This is super cute. You can make one of these with scrap paper if you want a little handy dandy kitchen resource. It's a fun way to use the kitchen themed type papers and ephemera. I really like how Diane made this book, and check out her channel, Shawcraft1. She's a super sweet lady and has tons of good ideas. So you take all these out and redo so this book makes a little more sense. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time for the next Vlogtober. Talk to you then. Bye.